All right, let's jump right in. In this explainer, we are taking a really close look at Ninebot's absolutely landmark year in 2025 to figure out how they pulled off such a massive business transformation.
So how did a company that most of us, still connect with balancing scooters completely reinvent itself into this global powerhouse in micromobility and even robotics? Well, this picture right here gives you a little taste of that pretty dramatic evolution. So that brings us to the big question, right? What exactly happened in 2025? Why was it such a game-changing, pivotal year for Ninebot? And here it is, the big answer, right up front. See, this wasn't luck, and it wasn't an accident. It was a very calculated strategy to create what they call a technology gap, basically an innovation moat so wide and so deep that their competitors just couldn't get across it. 2025 was the year that strategy really, truly paid off. And now we're going to show you the proof. Okay, so first things first, let's talk numbers. We're going to look at the financial scoreboard because it tells a really compelling story all on its own. Now this number, this single number right here is absolutely key. We're not just looking at sales, this is a 62% leap in net profit. That signals a huge fundamental shift. It means the company didn't just sell more stuff, they figured out how to be way more profitable doing it. And when you zoom out, this table just paints an incredible picture of financial health. You got that amazing profit growth we just talked about, right alongside a nearly 50% jump in revenue to almost $3 billion. But check out that last line, an ATV sales rate over 100%. That's just wild. They were literally selling them faster than they could build them. I mean, that's the definition of overwhelming demand. But listen, the numbers are just a symptom, right? The real driver, the engine behind that scoreboard, was a complete revolution happening inside Ninebot's product DNA. And it all comes down to this one big idea they had, the robotization of everyday tools. Ninebot basically made a huge bet on plugging sophisticated AI, navigation, and robotics into things that honestly have always been kind of low-tech. And we're not just talking about adding a gimmick. This was about fundamentally changing what these products could even do. The Navimow robotic mower is the perfect example of this strategy in action. I mean, think about it. It uses this advanced navigation system without any boundary wires. It completely turned the chore of mowing the lawn into something you just set up once and completely forget about. It's not just a fancy lawnmower. It's a legit robot for your home. And they took that same high-tech thinking to the world of high-performance all-terrain vehicles. By developing their own powerful 1,000cc, 105-horsepower engine, they weren't just playing in the same sandbox anymore. No, they were setting a new performance standard, putting themselves in the absolute top tier. And there it is again, that technology gap we were talking about. It's the same story with their e-bikes. They're embedding these smart driving systems into bikes like the Mion, making them best in class for their price. And all of this is feeding into their incredibly ambitious goal, to replace 50% of all traditional bicycles in just 10 years. Wow! So, you've got this groundbreaking tech. You have these incredible new products. The next question is, how do you get them into people's hands all over the world? Let's look at how Ninebot pulled off its global strategy. And man, did they expand. This is a huge piece of that 2025 puzzle. Just look at this. Overseas revenue now makes up more than 37% of the entire company's income. This isn't some side project. It is a core pillar of their growth for sure. And this wasn't just, selling a few scooters here and there. This was a full-on targeted dominance. They grabbed a 2/3 market share for shared e-bikes in a huge city like Paris. Their robotic mowers were the #1 sellers during Black Friday all across Europe. And so critically, they locked in partnerships with retail giants in North America. We're talking Walmart, Costco, Target, putting their products right in front of millions of new customers. So, all that brings us to today. Where does Ninebot possibly go from here? The independent analysis from HDIN Research actually gives us a really interesting peek into the future. This quote, and this comes directly from the company's guidance, it just perfectly captures their entire philosophy. Their goal is not to be the cheapest. Their goal is to make the competition totally irrelevant through better technology. They call it structural replacement. They don't just want to win the game, they want to completely change the rules. And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? 2025 was, without a doubt, a massive breakthrough year that was built on pure innovation. The big question now is, can Ninebot keep that technology gap and maybe even make it wider to really become the company that defines the future of personal mobility. So, if you want to dig even deeper into all the data and get the complete analysis behind this whole transformation, the full in-depth report is available from HDIN Research. Thanks for tuning in.